and not any more than that, because that creates bigger problems. But that's not an easy task.
I imagine that if the world were run sanely, that the response would be the world coming together.
What? If the world was dude, Ben, the only insanity on display tonight was that of the Muslims, the death cultists. They displayed some insanity. The world's reaction to this, which hasn't even happened yet, is what you're critical of? What a self-loathing, scummy, regressive, cuntish dyke. This man is a dyke.
And there wouldn't be Vladimir Putin randomly bombing ISIS, except not probably ISIS.
What? Vladimir Putin gets thrown under the bus for bombing ISIS? Dude, if anything, he needs to be applauded for that. Wait, explain to me, Ben, please. Benny Mankiewicz. Benny, explain to me, which side of the pro-ISIS versus anti-ISIS, where do you fall? What camp are you in? Unbelievable. Putin comes up tonight. Wow.
And that this would, again, with sane leaders, this would cause Russia and the United States and the world powers, in conjunction with the people who are paying the enormous brunt of ISIL's, I can't believe I just said ISIL, of ISIS's attacks, Muslim countries, there was a real coalition that sort of came together and dealt with it as one, as a group, instead of what I imagine will be something else and something more random and haphazard.
But even in that instance, and I don't disagree with what you're saying, even in that instance of that coalition and that kind of coming together, it's still the nature of ISIL and the nature of the threat that we're speculating about is so fragmented and so fractured that it's impossible to eradicate. So it would necessitate, on some level, it then becomes a question of to what extent do you engage with these people? And it comes up, we don't talk to terrorists. To what extent is it ever legitimate to open a dialogue with terrorist or jihadist organizations?
By the way, I didn't mean like a...
Hold on, I just thought of something. Did they cut out him talking about Dylan Roof? Mother of Christ, I think they cut it out. Because I saw this live. And he mentions Dylan Roof. And early in this segment, when Cenk starts burping out his thoughts, they do a crossfade, which means they edited the video. And they cut something out. And what they cut out might very well goddamn have been Cenk's mentioning of Dylan Roof. Oh, they left in Anders Breivik. And right now we're criticizing America's foreign policy. And Vladimir Putin, of all people. Fucking fuck? What the fuck did he fucking... What in the frick? What in the hell is he talking about? Somebody send me a link to the unedited version of this clip. Please, thank you.
Coalition of forces that then go out and bomb. I meant that there was a clear international
consensus,
reaction, a consensus that there was, and that
but my question would then be to do what? Because otherwise, because at the moment there's a consensus just to obliterate, and to your point, it's not making any difference, or it's just exacerbating.
Let me a piece of breaking news here. Francois Hollande has closed France's borders. State of emergency.
But do we have any evidence that they came from outside the borders?
What a simpleton. What are you talking about, Cenk? It's for security purposes. Of course, dude. Cenk, you are pretending like you don't know who these people are. You're pretending that you don't know that this was a Muslim terrorist organization that did this. The last guys that did this had ties to Yemen. How do you think they got all these weapons in? This is a security measure. But watch him criticize it. Oh, if I were the president of France, here's what I would do. If I were president.
If I was president, I'd get elected on Friday, assassinated on Saturday, buried on Sunday, they go back to work on Monday. If I was president, if I was president, if I was president,
I don't know.
Well, it might be to stop them from fleeing,
Maybe
possibly.
they do. I don't know.
If they believe that the attackers are going to flee. If it's a long-term closing of the borders, then that's the sort of knee-jerk reaction that further radicalizes Muslims living in France.
Fucking, oh my God. That guy is a full-on gash. The man is a fucking axe wound. Oh, you don't want to radicalize the Muslims in France? John, you crazily stupid stupid fucking weakling. Fuck the Muslims in France and fuck anybody who's going to get radicalized. It's time to face them and face this reality. Close the goddamn borders. Change the immigration policy. Fuck these people. Condemn them at every fucking turn. Profile the fuck out of these people. Oh my Christ. Ban the burqa. F these people. Oh, not all for the fucking millionth time. But it's a death cult. Okay? I'm not going to let you slide on that. Those of you listening. This is a death cult. Not a nice cult like I have. A death cult. My cult is about life and positivity and humor and fucking my flying monkeys' wives. That's a good cult. This is a shit cult.